We are from Group 3. We want to present about Cauchy-Grotzel theorem. The members of our group are Randy Dian Baskara, Lia Alfiana, and Wafik Faiz. The subtopics of our material are Cauchy's integral formula, Cauchy-Grotzel theorem, an extension of Cauchy-Grotzel theorem, simply and multiply connected domains, and the last annulus theorem and the extension of annulus theorem.
In this lecture, we shall present Cauchy integral formula that express the value of an analytic function at any point of a domain in terms of the values on the boundary of this domain, and has numerous important applications. Theorem. This theorem of Cauchy integral. Let C be a simple, closed and positively oriented contour. If F is analytic in some simply connected domain S containing C and C0 is any point inside C, then integral Fg over G minus G0 dz equals 2pi times Fg0. Example: compute the integral e power 2z plus sin z divided by z minus p dz, where C is the circle with center 2, 0 and radius 2, traverse on in the counterclockwise direction. Solution: since the function fg equals e power 2z plus sin z is analytic inside and on C, and the point z0 equals p lies inside C, by using Cauchy integral formula we get integral e power 2z plus sin z divided by z minus p dz equals 2pi times fp equals 2pi e power 2p. Note that the counterclockwise is same with positively oriented. The next example, compute integral along gamma e power z over z times z minus 2 dz, where gamma is the following figure a contour. Solution: let gamma 1 and gamma 2 be the positively oriented left loop and the negatively oriented right loop respectively. Then we get integral along gamma e power z over z times z minus 2 dz equals integral along gamma 1 e power z over z minus 2 divided by z dz plus integral along gamma 2 e power z over z divided by z minus 2 dz equals 2pi times e power z over z minus 2 for z equals 0 plus minus 2pi times e power z over z for z equals 2. Substitute z equals 0 to e power z over z minus 2 and substitute z equals 2 to function e power z over z equals minus pi minus e square pi. Next, Cauchy integral formula for derivative. Theorem: if f is analytic inside and on a simple closed positively oriented contour C, and if C0 is any point inside C, then integral along C fz over z minus z0 power n dz equals 2pi over n minus 1 factorial f n minus 1 derivative z0 for n in set of natural number. This theorem is extension of Cauchy integral formula. For example, compute integral along C sin 3z over z power 4 dz, where C is the circle with center O and radius 1 traverse counterclockwise. Solution: since fz equals sin 3z is analytic inside and on C, from Cauchy integral formula for derivative with z0 equals 0 n equals 4, we have integral along C sin 3z over z power 4 dz equals 2pi over 3 factorial times third derivative of f, and with z equals 0 equals minus 9 pi. The next Cauchy-Grosart theorem. If f is analytic in a simply connected domain S and C is any simple closed rectifiable contour in S, then integral along C fz dz equals 0. For example, evaluate integral along C e power z over z square minus 16 dz, where C is the circle with center O and radius 2 traverse counterclockwise. Solution: since e power z over z square minus 16 is analytic everywhere except at z equals plus min 4, where the denominator vanishes, and since these points lie exterior to the contour, the integral is 0 for Cauchy-Grosart theorem.
The next material is an extension of the Cauchy-Grosart theorem. Given a simply connected domains, namely D, as you can see in the figure, and Z1 and Z2 are fixed points in D, and C, K are two paths which connect Z1 and Z2, where C and K are the subset of D. If the function f is analytic on D, then the integral of fz dz along the path C from Z1 to Z2 is equals to the integral of fz dz along the path K from points Z1 to Z2. Suppose L is equals to C plus negative K, then we have three equations. First, L is equals to the integral of fz dz along the path L. C equals to the integral of fz dz along the path C from Z1 to Z2. And third is negative k is equals to the integral of fzdz along the path negative k from z1 to z2. By using Cauchy-Gorset theorem, we obtain the integral of fzdz along the path L is equals to 0. It is equal the integral of fzdz along the path C from z1 to z2 plus the integral of fzdz along the path negative k from point z1 to z2 is equals to 0. And then we obtain the integral of fzdz along the path C from z1 to z2 minus integral of fzdz along the path k from point z1 to z2 is equals to 0. And finally, we get the integral of fzdz along the path C from z1 to z2 is equals to the integral of fzdz along the path k from point z1 to point z2. And this is the example. Calculate the integral of 3z squared minus 2z dz along the path C, where C1 is arc of circle x squared plus y squared equals to 1 from point negative 1, 0 to 0, 1, and C2 is a segment line from point 0, 1 to 1, 0, and C is equals to C1 plus C2. The solution: this is the graph of C1 and C2. C1 is arc of circle with the radius is 1 from point negative 1 here, negative 1, 0 to point 0, 1, and C2 is the segment line. Since fz, the function z is equals to 3z squared minus 2z is analytic on C that containing z1 equals to negative 1 and z2 equals to 1, we have to choose an arbitrary path from z1 and z2. In this case, the easiest path from z1 to z2 is k. That is, y equals to 0 and x is greater than or equal negative 1 and less than or equal 1. So, we obtain that the integral of function 3z squared minus 2z dz along the C is equals to the integral of function 3x squared minus 2x dx from point negative 1 to 1. So we get the result is 2. Next is simply connected domains. What is simply connected domains? Simply connected domain D is a domain such that every simple closed contour within it encloses only points of D. The set of points interior to a simple closed contour is an example. The angular domain between two concentric circles is, however, not simply connected. Theorem: if a function f is analytic throughout a simply connected domain D, then the integral of fzdz is equals to 0 for every closed contour C lying in D. For the example, in simply connected domains, in the figure, if C denotes any closed contour lying in the open disk with absolute value of z is less than 2. Then, the integral of z exponential z over in the bracket of z squared plus 9 power 5 dz is equals to 0. This is because the this is a simply connected domain and the two singularities z equal 3i with and z equals to negative 3i of the integrand are exterior to the this. And we have the corollary, a function f that is analytic throughout a simply connected domain D must have an antiderivative everywhere in D. The proof begins with the observation that the function f is continuous on a domain D when it is analytic there. Consequently, since equation the integral of fz dz along the contour C is equal to 0 holds for the function in the hypothesis of this corollary and for each closed contour C in D. Function f has an antiderivative throughout D. Note that since the finite plane is simply connected, the corollary tells us that entire functions always possess antiderivatives. This is a multiply connected domains. A domain that is not simply connected is said to be multiply connected. Theorem: suppose that C is a simple closed contour described in the counterclockwise direction, and Ck, with K is natural numbers, are simple closed contours interior to C, all described in the clockwise direction, that are disjoint and whose interiors have no points in common. If a function f is analytic on all of these contours and throughout the multiply connected domain consisting of the points inside C and exterior to each Ck, then we have this equality. We have this equation, the integral of fz dz from along the contour C plus sum of integral C along the curve Ck fz dz from k is equals to 1 up to n is equals to 0. In this equation, the direction of each path of integration is such that the multiply connected domain lies to the left of that path. Corollary: let C1 and C2 denote positively oriented simple closed contours where C1 is interior to C2, as you can see in the figure. If a function f is analytic in the closed region consisting of those contours and all points between them, then the integral of fz dz along the contour C2 is equals to integral of fz dz along the contour C1. This corollary is known as the principle of deformation of paths, since it tells us that if C1 is continuously deformed into C2, always passing through points at which f is analytic, then the value of the integral of function f over C1 never changes. To verify the corollary, we need only write the equation before as the integral of fz dz along the contour C2 plus integral of fz dz along the contour negative C1 is equals to 0 and apply the theorem.
Theorem annulus. The theorem is if C and K are simple closed paths and F analytic on the annulus C, K orientation is C and K is positive, then contour integral from C of f z dz equals contour integral from K f z dz. And then the proof is, if line C equals C1 plus C2 and path K equals K1 plus K2, consider the two simple closed paths C1 plus R1 minus K1 minus R2 and C2 plus R2 minus K2 minus R1, and we can change it using contour integral. Become contour integral C from C1 f z dz plus contour integral of R1 f z dz plus contour integral of negative K1 f z dz plus contour integral of negative R2 f z dz plus contour integral of C2 f z dz plus contour integral from R2 f z dz plus contour integral from negative K2 f z dz plus contour integral from negative R1 f z dz is equal 0. This equivalent with, we can change the negative become contour integral of C1 f z dz plus contour integral from R1 f z dz minus contour integral from K1 f z dz minus contour integral from R2 f z dz plus contour integral from C2 f z dz plus contour integral from R2 f z dz minus contour integral from K2 f z dz minus contour integral from R1 f z dz is equal 0. Then because there are positive contour integral R1 f z dz and negative contour integral R1 f z dz, we can clear it, and there are negative contour integral from R2 f z dz and positive contour integral from R2 f z dz, we can clear it too, and then it's become contour integral of from C1 f z dz minus contour integral from K1 f z dz plus contour integral from C2 f z dz minus contour integral from K2 f z dz is equal 0. And we can change the negative, we can change the negative form into right side, and this is become contour integral of C1 f z dz plus contour integral from C2 f z dz equals contour integral from K1 f z dz plus contour integral from K2 f z dz. And we know from the previous, if C1 plus C2 is equal C and K1 plus K2 is equal K, and then it is become contour integral of from C f z dz equals contour integral from K f z dz, and then it is proof to the theorem. Next is theorem of annulus expansion. The theorem is, suppose C k1, k2, blah blah blah, kn, and until n plus 1 as a simple closed path. If f analytic on C union u I equals 1 until n k1 ki union analytic C, k1, k2, blah blah blah, kn, then C, k positive, then contour integral from C fz dz equal sigma from I equals 1 until n contour integral of ki fz dz, and then the proof is like in the picture is f analytic on double annulus C, k1, k2, k3, blah blah blah, kn, then contour integral from C fz dz equals contour integral from k1 fz dz plus contour integral from k2 fz dz plus contour integral from k3 fz dz plus blah 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 plus contour integral from kn fz dz, and this is we can change the form on right side become contour integral from C fz dz equals sigma of contour integral ki fz dz from I equals 1 until n.
Okay, that's all of our presentation. Thank you.